how to sit. God.
Just like this.
No, I can't do that. All right. All right, we're back. I had to put my top on because the mic and all this jazz, so back to normal. All right, so would you say I'm balanced or unbalanced based on what you've just assessed?
You're relatively balanced,
Yep.
but you do still have one side stronger than the other, and from things like your injury history, you've got certain aspects that have made your two different sides work slightly differently. And because we're naturally like right-handed or left-handed, so you'll find that every time you go to lift something or move something, you'll use your right hand. Same as you'll find that you've got a dominant leg. Every time you go to go up the stairs, you'll always go up with the same foot first without even thinking about it. So we always end up slightly uneven, but you're relatively even, but it's just a little bit more work to be done there.
All right. Injury history. I've got a long list. My catalogue is vast. So I don't know where to start from, but we'll start with the main components. 2001, I was in America walking down the stairs, and this bone here, what's this bone called?
What, Taylor? Oh, the outside of the ankle.
Yeah. Taylor?
The outside of the ankle.
The outside of the ankle.
Not great with bone names.
I'm telling you. I know about running and all that. Yeah, anyway. I remember walking down the stairs, and I'm kind of clumsy sometimes. This bone, using it as it, touched the floor, so my ankle twisted that much that this bone touched the floor. And I remember walking down, I heard a boom sound, and this leg, this area of my ankle swelled up like a balloon in a second. It just went like that. It just ballooned up massively. And I remember I had to, that was 2001, somewhere around that time. And I remember I had to get myself ready for a Grand Prix. My coach at the time just got tons of ice, wrapped it up, said, you got to get down and train. I had to run on it. It was ridiculous. And I don't think my ankle's ever been right since. So this whole left side of me is a problem. I then went on a year or so later, I probably got my dates wrong, but a year or so later, I was on a bike. I bought a CBR 900. Don't ask me why, but I did. I thought it was cool. Now, note to sportsmen and women, do not buy bicycles like engine-powered bikes. It's a hazard for us. So I was on my bike, about to go warm weather training the next day. I thought it was cool to show off in front of my friends. I had no helmet on. I then remember riding and then hearing ambulance sirens, people screaming. I was thinking, why am I on the floor? Or I remember getting up off the floor like this, seeing blood dripping everywhere from my face. And thinking, why am I on the floor? Why am I bleeding? Why is everyone screaming? I had no clue that I'd ridden, come off my bike, flown 10 or 15 feet, landed on my face and skidded on the floor. My friends said they looked at me flying through the air and it was like I was flying in slow motion. They said I landed on the floor, skidded, and just came to a stop. And while they were watching me, my bike was going towards them. Luckily, where they were standing, this is the boot of my car, they were standing just ahead of it, so the end of my car took the impact of the bike. Totally smashed my car, smashed my bike, almost killed 4 of my friends in the process as well. And Darren said, while he was watching me flying through the air, the bike was coming towards him. He said he jumped in the air, and when he came down, he landed near the bike, and the back wheel of the bike was spinning, and his hand almost went into the wheel. And he said, when I was coming down, I had to turn myself and do that and protect myself. And when he told me this story, I thought to myself, I almost not only almost killed myself, but almost killed my friends in the process. So me and bikes. So note to people, sportsmen and women, do not mess with it. Yeah, leave them alone.
Don't do it.
So with that, I subluxed my shoulder, fractured my skull, all my teeth came out, dinged up my fingers. Luckily enough, at the time, I didn't hurt my legs. But what I didn't realise, long term, like 10, 15 years down the line, all this left side I did injure, from falling down the stairs and then coming off the bike, come back to haunt me now. So things that happen then aren't necessarily always, resolved. It's come back to creep me later on down the line. So hence why this interview today is quite important, just so I can identify a few areas that need addressing and hopefully get myself back on track. Stay away from bikes.
Definitely.
Please, take it from me. Also, when I fell, I had a hole in my head. It was horrible. So yeah, I'm really rubbing it in. So anyway.
Explains a lot.
Yes. Hence my crazy psycho personality. Anyway. All right, so we're gonna talk about some of the injuries that you come across.
Yeah.
So what are the most common injuries that you come across with athletes in general?
Okay, so depends on the sport.
Yep.
So if we're saying athlete is in track and field athlete, some of the main things we get are kind of the hamstrings, the quads, Achilles.
Yep.
Achilles is a massive one, whether it's just tendonitis. It really is tendonitis or a tendinopathy.
Yep.
So it's a lot of the runners, especially distance runners and people that like to go out for jogs and things. That's a massive one with the Achilles because as soon as the calves get tight...
This area here?
So as soon as the calf gets tight, it refers down and the Achilles starts to get worked up. So all of this span, the Achilles does come quite high because it's your gastrocnemius and your soleus both come down into that there. So any pain all along here, it can swell up, it can inflame. And also with the Achilles, it likes to work straight up and down. So as the toe bends and flexes, it likes to go in a straight line. Now people, you may have heard of the word pronation.
Yes.
People whose feet roll inwards. So as they collapse inwards or outwards, that Achilles is then having to work around the angle. And when it's having to work around an angle, it gets really upset from that. So again, that can cause the tendonitis or tendinopathy. So Achilles is a really common one. And with that, we have to make sure that we ice it. And as well, tendons, so the patella tendon, the Achilles tendon, they don't like just being rested. So a lot of people that have Achilles tendonitis think, okay, I just need to rest. If you only rest, it won't get that much. It will ease, but as soon as you start doing something again, it's going to get bad again. So you need to be proactive. You need to make sure you're icing it, of which rubbing an ice cube up and down it is better than putting an ice pack straight onto it. Take anti-inflammatories if that's right for you for a short period of time.
How long is a short period of time?
Do a few days. So you can do sort of a 3-day course of taking them 4 times a day. Obviously, depends which ones you're having. Check the packs, but usually 2 tablets 4 times a day for 3 days. So it really has that accumulative effect and helps to help with that anti-inflammatory effect. And then also doing, they're constantly changing whether they think you should do isometrics, eccentrics, or concentrics. So what that means is doing calf strengthening exercises where you're slowly lowering down or you're holding static in a position, holding a lot of weight, so that you're promoting the healing of the tendon. So they're probably one of the most common ones for runners.